Got serious.
Wood here. Carriel's got some space here, edge of the penalty area. Debut goal, and what a storming effort it was!
Real chance! Goal for Leeds! They take the lead and Sanucci scores! Leeds United lead by 0-0!
Thank you so much for joining us here on Matchday Live, where you can watch tonight's game with us in selected territories. All you need to do is scan the QR code that you can see on screen and you can buy your Matchday pass there. Now, the team have travelled to South Yorkshire tonight to try and make it 7 wins in 8 and keep the pressure on the top 2 teams. As for our opponents this evening, they're dwindling right down in the relegation zone, having only won 1 of their last 11. But you know what we always say, Michael Bridges, on this show? Form goes out the window a lot of the time, doesn't it?
It certainly does, especially when they've got a manager. He's an interim manager, and you just never know what's going to happen. That could be the managerial bounce, but the form that we are in, it shouldn't stop us. But you never know.
We have spoken about that hunger, though, haven't we? Look, that drubbing that they got against Watford, 5-0. Obviously, parting ways with the manager, interim manager stepping in. Yeah. That can create almost a feeling of we have a point to prove here.
Yeah, it does, because they obviously want to prove to the new manager what is available, you know. So it's Wayne Carlisle has come in. He's showcasing what he's about. He said that he does want the job permanently. So there's no bigger challenge for him than coming up against Leeds United, who he knows of, you know, a powerhouse. Everybody wants to play Leeds United. It's like their big match of the season. So he'll be looking to put a performance on. The players will be looking to react from that, and let's hope that they don't, and Leeds don't allow that to happen tonight, because obviously the league position suggests that we are the dominant team, but the international break and the new manager, it's the first time I've been here, and I'm feeling a little bit nervous.
Absolutely, like you say, Bridgie, heading into that international break, 3 wins on the bounce, and the run of form that we're in, you know, we would be the bookies' favourite every single time for this game, wouldn't we? Yeah,
without a shadow of a doubt. And I think the last international break, we were worried going into that prior. We got great results going into that, and then we got the win off the back of the international break. The turnaround, the lads would have returned on Wednesday. This is a Friday match, so it's all about the recovery. Hopefully everybody is, you know, ready for it, and they've had enough time and information to get under the manager with Daniel Farker as to what they have to do in their job tonight.
Yeah, how easy or not is that, Bridgie, when what you've just said, when you consider that a lot of them, if they've been away on international duty, got back on Wednesday, they're then playing on a Friday night. That is, in terms of training, preparing for the game, just getting back together as a team, that's not a long amount of time, that 48 hours.
But tactically, the players know what we are about now. You know, Daniel Farker, we all know the system, the style. So that's an easy way to adapt what it will be. You've just said there, Emma, it's the travel. It's how many minutes have they played at international. Some of the lads might not have seen any minutes at all, and it's been quite a little, I call it a refresher for them. So they can come into this fresh. They haven't played, but the ones that have played a full few matches, and then the travel, that comes into consideration. So again, I'll be looking at this game very interesting the first 15 or 20 minutes, just to see who is switched on, see if the drive's there and the desire.
And look, we'll talk about team news very shortly, but they are going to be eager to get back to it. I imagine when you're on such a good run of form, you cannot wait to get back out there.
No, you can't, and that's the thing. I think that everybody's relishing playing under Daniel Farke, especially the players in the front part of the field. Ruter has been on fire, Piru has been an inspiration, and then Somerville, my player of the month, he won the award, player of the season so far. I just love to see him on the ball, and we're seeing the best of Dan James once again as well. So going forward, absolutely fantastic. Rotherham at home, you know, 1 win against Coventry and 2 draws, 1 against Ipswich, 1 against QPR. So their away form is bad. The home form recently has not been, you know, it's been very, very good. 1 draw, 2 draws, 1 win. So Leeds have it all to do, and we've got to show up and get an early goal.
We certainly do. Sorry, I forgot how to use my iPad for a minute there, Bridgie. You were trying to overlook that for me, weren't you? Let's talk about team news then, shall we? One change from that 2-1 win against Plymouth that we saw ahead of the international break. Junior Firpo comes in for Sam Byron, who obviously mustn't be fully fit. And you've spoken to Junior Firpo, haven't you, earlier this week? He's a great personality.
Do you know what it is? I've never had much to do with him since I've been at Leeds United, being back here, and it was just so refreshing to have a chat with him on the podcast, which came out this morning, by the way. And he...
You can watch it. You can watch and listen the official Leeds United podcast wherever you get your podcasts. There you go. Nice little plug for you.
And it was great to hear how he spoke about not being able to get in the team on a regular basis how he wanted to. He said he's had a mental problem. He's had to go and see a psychologist to talk about that, to get him on board. And what I loved about him saying what the Leeds United fans will love, he actually said, when Daniel Farke got the job, I was so happy because I know how his style of football is going to suit my game. Daniel Farke had a chat with me, he filled me full of confidence, and he said, and I'm here for a point to prove that I can play, get minutes on my belt, and I feel like I owe the Leeds United fans something because they haven't seen enough of me. Now that I thought was inspirational. So he gets his opportunity tonight. He's the change. He's coming at left back, and like he says, with Daniel Farke's system, how the fullbacks can push on and have got license to go forward. Firpo going forward is tremendous. Defensively has been the questions, so that's where the lads, everybody's got to try and adjust to him. But in the Championship, you're not playing against the likes of Salah, Son, so he can get back to enjoying his football.
Absolutely. Well, we'll talk about team news more in a minute, but first, let's head over to the New York Stadium for the first time this evening and catch up with our commentary team of Tony DeRigo and Bryn Law.
Good to be back in action, and we've made the short trip down the M1 from Leeds to Rotherham to see Leeds resume the Championship season, hopefully in good style. Team news first is fairly straightforward, just one change to the starting 11. Tony, you happy with the team that you're seeing there?
Yes, absolutely. Junior Firpo's come in for Sam Byron, but apart from that, it's the same side that have done, really well in recent weeks. I think the difficulty is with the international break, you're not sure exactly what's going to happen. Have we lost any of our rhythm? But it's important we hit our stride quickly.
Yeah, and players have been away, players have had different loads, haven't they? So the Welsh lads, for instance, were playing a big game on Tuesday night. You don't know what they're coming back so quickly. It's the first game of the weekend.
But the good thing is we're in great form previously, so the confidence will be high. I think the understanding of our tactics is really clear. But you're right, it's just making sure everyone is physically okay and ready to go. And also, this is an important game. We want to go on another run. We want to keep it going. And so tonight we have to win.
And there is that expectation around the fixture as well. You look at the table and that's what you think, isn't it?
Absolutely. And I think it's important. I think the boys have to think that as well. With the players that they've got around them in the dressing room, I'd be thinking, we can go out and win this game, and they've got to go out there and show it.
It's a cold night, proper winter's night, but the pitch looks fantastic, doesn't it?
It does. I'm quite glad I'm up there. I have got 5 layers DeRigo tonight. It is extremely cold, but I tell you what, the boys, as long as they keep me warm, I'll be happy.
Five Layers DeRigo is the best nickname anyone has ever given him. All right, 2-layer Bridgie.
Only 2 layers today.
1 layer Emma.
That is going to stick.
I'll tell you what, it does look cold over in Rotherham though, doesn't it?
It certainly did. And he had a little bit of something hanging off the end of his nose.
I wasn't going to mention it, Bridgie.
He's very, very cool, is our Tony.
He's 5-layer Tony. Right, let's go back to team news. I know they touched on it there, and obviously Bryn, alluded to the fact that obviously you would expect this Leeds United side to be winning tonight. When you look at the bench as well, we always talk about the strength there. Straight back on the bench, that is a positive that actually we weren't expecting.
I couldn't see it. I mean, 2 weeks or a week and a bit into an operation. I think when I had a hernia operation, I was out 8 or 9 weeks. So it just shows how far it has come in the medical industry. So for me, the bench, if you're talking about seeing somebody like Strouk on the bench, I think that's tremendous. That gives us squad depth again. And just hoping there's no way he would be there if he was 75%. So obviously The operation has been a success. He's out there, and I just think it's fantastic that he has a quick turnaround.
Absolutely. Another Brucey bonus as well. We were expecting Ruter to be out with an abdominal issue, but it's great to see he's starting as well.
Yeah, and I mean, Daniel Farke the other day just actually said, look, he's in a major doubt. So to see him in the starting lineup, absolutely, I'm delighted. Leeds fans will be delighted because he's been an absolute revelation this season, and especially with Pirou, who has come in and played behind him. I think it's given Ruter a new lease of life, so he will be relishing the opportunity to add goals to his tally tonight.
Absolutely. We've heard Daniel Farke, haven't we, talk about ahead of games that we would be expected to win. Yeah. He said, you know, everyone needs to rally around, we need everyone behind us. Do you think this will be one of those games?
Yeah, definitely. Like I said, their stats are not great when you look at the possession stats. 24th in the division, expected goals 24th in the division. They're sitting in the relegation battle as well, so that's not good. But the home record is decent the last few matches. Like I've said, 2 draws, 1 win. So we've got to go there with the right mindset, get everybody behind it on the front foot, and obviously the travelling fans will be singing their hearts out, and that plays a massive input as well.
Well, let's hear from the boss himself, shall we? Daniel Farke caught up with the media ahead of tonight's game.
We spent this international break in a good mood because we are in a good shape and on a good run. So it was good to head into the international break with a few wins in a row. Obviously, in the first days we calmed the load, also in training a little bit down. Then from the middle of last week, proper training obviously was a pretty small group in the beginning, and right now the group is growing from day to day. But it's still relatively a small group because there were players involved in the games on Monday and Tuesday, and obviously some are just traveling back over the day to day. So for that, you hope and wait for them and hope that they come back really without any problems. Obviously, with lots of load. The first game after international break is always a bit tricky, and if it's on a Friday evening already, then even a bit more. But we have to adapt to the situation. This whole approach of Rotherham is also different to Plymouth, for example. But also in addition to that, it's always a bit difficult to prepare for a team who's just had a change on a crucial position, on the manager position. So, if I'm honest, this preparation is really tricky, especially because we're more concentrated on all our injury doubts and which player comes back in which condition. So it's a bit tricky, but I've also experienced similar situations, at least in the past, and for that it's the most important thing to concentrate on yourself, on your own contents. And yes, the same is that these 3 points are also priceless and have the same value like 3 points against Leicester or against Plymouth. So we have to dig in and to make sure that although the circumstances are not the easiest one and a bit tricky, that we are spot on because we want to win. The first minutes of the game are quite often decisive. First of all, from the soft skills, from the mood, from the belief, from the self-confidence. And obviously, when there's even a goal, then also from the tactical point of view, because when you face, for example, a side who's sitting deep and you go in lead, it always helps when they have to open up even a bit more. So it's in many ways important to start on the front foot, and also a goal is also always important, but sometimes you can't choose, and also the opponent wants to start on the front foot. So we had some really good start to the game, like last home game, for example, or away at Leicester. But we had also some difficult starts into the game during the season. We have to make sure that our awareness level and also our sharpness is on the top level, especially when you face a side like Rotherham, who's, especially in the home games, I would say, always playing brave, and then also they play with intensity, and then they go with their long balls and they fight for sack balls, and then they create throw-ins and corner kicks and free kicks, and then the whole stadium is buzzing, and they play with this fighting spirit. We have to make sure that we play at least with the same intensity and aggression level like Rotherham will do, and they're fighting with knife between their teeth for important points against relegation. That's definitely a fact, and we have to make sure that they are on the same same level in terms of awareness, and then that we're also ready for the battle, because we won't be able to avoid all these long balls and all the throw-ins and the long free kicks. We have to make sure that we're also ready for the moments when we have to dig in and have to fight. And then in the moments when we can let our quality shine and that we can control the game, yes, and that we make out of this game our game. But to be ready from the start is one of the key points, especially away.
He made some really good point. I mean, he always does. We absolutely
love him.
Daniel Farker fan club here, honestly. But some really good points towards the end there, Bridgie. Talking about that intensity that's going to be required. Yeah. Talking about being ready for battle. Make sure that we're ready for moments where we have to dig in. And you could almost think, oh, he's just saying that, but that's actually really important. You were just saying that off air then.
Yeah, you've got to look at the opposition. You see how they play. So Rotherham are reason they're bottom of the league for the possession stats, because they don't really play out. So we're going to have a different style of pressing. We're going to have to win the aerial battles, be up for the aerial presence, win the second balls, and that's when we can go and play our game. So, he knows his stuff. I love listening to him because he's so thorough. And speaking to a lot of the players, when I asked them about the analysis session, how long are they, how in depth are they, and they just said that, they're mind blown at times as to the depth that they can go into. Sometimes it can be too much information given, but the way he describes it and gets his message across, the lads absolutely love it.
Well, yeah, and it's clearly working. It's paying off, isn't it? And look, we're hearing what he will be relaying to the team in training, and albeit he's not had much time with them. Yeah. But one thing that we have seen is they've been able to win in different ways. They've had dominant wins. We've had wins where we've conceded and we've managed to come out consistently in the second half and score very, very early on. And we've spoken about whatever magic words Daniel Farker is saying in there. But he knows that he has got a squad in front of him who are capable of winning in such a variety of ways, and that clearly gives him a lot of confidence.
Like we said there, the squad, he knows the squad. I think if we were talking at the start of this season, it was kind of like, the 13 or 14 players. We've got a lot at our disposal now, and he's got the belief in that squad, and that's what I love, because he's always speaking about what we can do, where we're going to hurt them, and what we've got to do. And like I say, there's only so much you can do as a coach and as a coaching staff, because once the players go over that white line for game day, your preparation kind of goes out the window, and you've got to make sure that they switch on. We've gone behind before, you said. We've shown great resolve. That was a huge thing. And then what we've done, if we score early goals, we've shown we can go and get more and more. And the last few matches, the confidence has been coming so much. You can just see everything coming together. Every unit of the field has been playing their part. And Melier, some of the games he's been sitting there doing absolutely nothing, but then that one moment where he's required, he's been relied upon as well.
Utterly magic. Yeah. Well, Melier is one of the reasons why Leeds United have conceded, it's Leicester City, my bad, who've only conceded fewer goals than Leeds United, much thanks to Ilhan Melier. He caught up with LUTV earlier this week.
Ilhan, it's always great to see you. Thanks for catching up with us. International break, how's it been? A few days off, nice to chill out?
Yes, absolutely. Good moment to relax, physically and mentally. So it was nice, and then of course when we came back, we trained hard, to push to be ready for the next few weeks, with a lot of games. We feel ready, to just arrive and play those games because it will be important, to do a great month of November, December.
Yeah, because we had a great run just leading up to the international break. Obviously the big win at Leicester, backing it up with the home victory against Plymouth, and it's always good, isn't it, to go into this break on back of a good performance, a good result, and getting the 3 points.
Yeah, absolutely. It wasn't easy the last few games, but like you said, good game against Leicester, and also like Plymouth at home. At home we're still unbeaten, so this is very nice, and we have to keep playing like this all the time, because I think it's always good, to feel strong, at Helen Road, especially with our fans who are pushing us behind.
Yeah, it's a good point making the home form, but the form in general, we've been really good so far this season, pushing towards the top two. You mentioned the Leicester game. Have to mention your save, Ilhan. Talk us through it. Yeah. How did you even do that?
What a save from Melier! Incredible stop from the goalkeeper.
It's just,
It's just not one of those things.
But of course, there was a momentum for them trying to push, to equalize, to to bring back 1 point, you know, and then we just wanted to maintain the clean sheet, the 3 points, and then of course this cross arrived, and then you know, the header, and just try to react as fast as possible, you know, and it was just one of my best save, I think. So pretty happy to help the team to just maintain and conserve the clean sheet, the 3 point also, because it was just crucial. You know, you have to stay focused, you know, for more than 90 minutes, and then without doing, you know, catches with your hands, you know. And so it's just try to be focused, you know, all the time. The save can happen at the first minute, like at the last. It happened at the last minute, so you just have to be ready, you know, all the time.
The Yorkshire derby away at Rotherham. You look at the league table. They're down in the bottom three. We're pushing towards the top, but it's not that easy, is it? We know it's definitely not that easy.
No, to be honest, is like each game are never easy, you know. But especially when you play against a team who play to avoid the relegation. So will be a bit of tough game, you know, tough place also to win. So we just have to be ready and fight for the 3 points.
He speaks so well. I think he's the only person at this club with a deeper voice than me, Bridgie. I can't lie. But goalkeeper, you're laughing because it's true. Goalkeepers are a special breed, though, aren't they? Some of the ones that you played with, they must have been the same. They are very unique human beings, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. And it was back in the day when I was playing Nigel Martin and Paul Robinson. You wouldn't see them till probably we came to do 11v11. They used to go and train in their own little corner. The goalkeepers were all together.
Through choice, or
that was just how they trained away from the team. They used to go out earlier beforehand, so you never really got to see them. You know, they had their own little patch, as we called it, where they went to train every single day, and that was their. Nowadays, because of the style of play with playing out at the back, the goalkeepers are a lot more involved, and you can see them more togetherness. I would say there. The save at the end against Leicester, you saw Rutter running up, and it was almost like we scored a goal just to celebrate, to say well done.
Yeah.
So that's fantastic, and like you say, the man is Melia is getting his confidence, and I just said before, even when he's not needed. In 90 minutes of a game, that one save in the 93rd minute is a match-winning save to get the win over Leicester, who were unbeaten. So everybody's playing their part, and he's a great guy.
And you heard him say there, you have to be ready all the time. So we think, it's just that one save, but actually, he's always watching the game.
It's been in the moment for goalkeepers, and you know the younger kids that are listening and watching. It's very hard when you're not involved in a game. I used to hate being a striker and see the play building up, and I never got a touch of the ball. I used to go drifting, as I called it, just to try and get a feel of the ball, and then I'd get wrong off David O'Leary. Go, we need you as the striker, get up the top end of the field, but I want to get a touch of the ball. If you didn't get a touch of the ball, I couldn't really concentrate and get into the game. So for goalkeepers to stay switched on in the whole moment of a match, for that one moment where they come up with a save like that's special. That takes a lot of mental strength.
Yeah, it's utterly golden. And we heard him talk about the fact that, you know, this could be a tough game. It's a tough place, playing against a team who are trying to avoid relegation. And his face even changed when he was asked that question. And I think, I don't know about you, that is almost a reflection of the message that Daniel Farke is sending, that do not get complacent with any of these teams. We cannot afford to do that.
You've got to go in with the right mindset, the right attitude, and you can't have that arrogance to say, you know, we're in the top three of the division, you're in the bottom three of the division, this is going to be a breeze. You can't have that. You've got to go in fully focused, and you've got to, it's like I said, the first 15 minutes of this game I'm going to be watching to make sure that the players are switched on, everybody knows their job. And like I say, I think an early goal kills this team off, Rotherham, but it's, you know, you never know what's going to happen in derbies, you never know what's happening in relegation battles. Teams are up for it.
And you never know what's going to happen in LUTV's art club either, do you? Now, we couldn't grab one of the players this week because obviously some of them were on international duty and here, there and everywhere. So Michael Bridges, our very own, has stepped in and drawn a player. Would you like to do the big reveal for us, Bridgie?
Oh, ta-da!
Can we see that?
Sure
can you see that? I'm not sure
it's in the
that the screen...
corner. There you go. You've got it.
Now, I've got to be honest, you drew that in about 2 minutes,
I
didn't
did.
you?
Well, it looked like I drew it
earlier.
in 2 minutes, but there's a little bit of a giveaway. There's something on the arm, and obviously there's something protruding from the face, and I often give this guy a little bit of stick, or a lot of stick. because he used to clean my football boots at Hull City.
Does he give you stick back as well?
He certainly does. Because
do you know what? I'm not going to give it away. I'm not going to say, but I'm guessing you've probably guessed. There's a WhatsApp number on the screen. Use that. Send in your guesses. We'll read them out at half time. I feel like most of you are going to get that right. You have done him a little bit dirty there, Bridgie. There was no need to make his nose that much bigger than his head, was there? That was a little bit
He's going to kill me for this.
Just very quickly, score predictions tonight.
Score predictions. I am going to go and say early goal 3-0 to Leeds United.
We will take that tonight, won't we? Right then, let's head over to the New York Stadium and join our commentary team of Bryn Law and Tony Dorigo. But first, let's get the thoughts of Archie Gray.
Yeah, I can't wait. After the international break, everyone's wanting to get back into the flow of games, running into Christmas and hopefully keep up the good form, so can't wait.
Yeah, good momentum going into this. Now you want to maintain that, don't you?
Yeah, definitely. It's important we keep this going, just take it game by game and not think too far ahead, and just take it game by game, so yeah.
If there's expectation around the game tonight, given the position of the two teams in the table, it would be that Leeds will do well.
Yeah.
Doesn't always work like that, though, does it?
No. They'll be wanting to prove a point tonight, especially against us in a local derby. So they'll be at it and they'll be trying to prove a point against us. So we've got to be at it as well. So yeah, got to be ready.
We're back, the international break is over and football, domestic football, club football returns and takes our focus with a short trip down the M1 to South Yorkshire from West Yorkshire as Leeds United have travelled to take on Rotherham United in a Yorkshire derby. And the stadium is filling up nicely as we are just a few minutes away from kick-off here. The end away to our right hand side is going to be entirely filled with travelling Leeds United supporters who are already making quite a racket. You can't hear them above the stadium PA, mind, which is making a much bigger racket. And the Rotherham fans are finding their seats a little less enthusiastically perhaps in the other areas of the stadium. The team third from top of the championship taking on the team third from bottom, and the two sides about to emerge from down below. We're sitting to the right side of the halfway line here. The last time I came, I'm sure it was called the New York Stadium. These days it's the AES Seal New York Stadium. So there's the little plug for the sponsor before we revert to the New York Stadium. And the Leeds fans are raising their voices as the team emerges from down below to our left. Leeds United in the change strip this evening. I should say no more about that. Rotherham United in red and white. And
leave it there, Brent, leave it there.
Park that one. Rotherham United in their traditional Arsenal-like home kit here with a red body and white sleeves. So the Leeds team lines up in front of us, and we can see as we look along it that Junior Firpo gets his first start of the season. Sam Byram as a consequence is on the bench. There is some good news in terms of potential returnees, because Pascal Strout, remember, had that double hernia operation that kept him out of the game before the break. Well, things seem to have worked out really well involving the timing there, because Strout is available to Leeds potentially from the bench for this game this evening. So he has made what appears to be a very swift recovery. So Liam Cooper is in from the off, as he was in that game prior to the international break. And the players now take the tracksuit tops off, and there'll be little blast hits, a few of them. I mean, Crescencio Somerville's wearing the gloves anyway, we know that. But one or two more have joined him, I think, this evening. Have they had a look round, actually, to be fair? I'm not sure they have. I think he might be the only one.
Glenn Kamara, I think, has got some on as well.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
At least he's got long sleeves as well, or an undershirt.
Trying to hide it.
Somerville's got a short sleeve top with those gloves.
And the reason is because it's cold. It's cold, proper cold night, end of November, heading towards December, and it feels like it this evening. For the